Well, howdy, folks. We're back on the Derail Valley. I see JSJ has been a member for 14 months. Thank you very much, JSJ, for being a member of the support group for 14 months. He says howdy. I'm saying howdy. We are here playing some Derail Valley, having some fun. And it is a wild Midland. Midland is streaming again. And Midland has face cam again, though Midland might turn the face cam off because Midland doesn't look the greatest right now. My hair is doing something awfully weird. So yeah, I think we're going to turn that off for the moment. Maybe we'll turn it back on, but not camera ready. But we're here. We're in Derail Valley. We're having fun. I know we delivered this load last time, so we need to figure out where are we? I don't remember. We're in Sawmill. Sawmill? No. Where are we? Oh, are we back in Food Factory? I think we're back in Food Factory. Okay. But yes, it is Wild Midland. Midland is streaming. Again, the April stream schedule is live. I'm going to try my best once again to stick to it as much as possible. However, like with March, the message is going to be bear with me because of the job hunt. It just may be one of those things where some things just have to change based on my availability and everything. So to answer Southern 207 Hobbies question of how the job hunt is going, it's going. I can't report that I have a job yet. But last week, I had a second round interview that I should know more about after, how that went. Today was going to be the first day of potentiality. But I think I'll probably know more about that next week. And I had a screening call earlier this week that I'll know more about next week. So, still applying for jobs, still getting interviews, still getting screening calls. Just need someone somewhere to say, hey, yes, we want to hire you. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that happens here soon. But again, as a result, the caveat is we will be streaming when able based on the schedule. But also there just may be a time I need to take a break and just chill a little bit. Speaking of chilling a little bit, I have received word that a certain individual is returning to a certain game this evening. So this stream might be a little bit shorter because I really want to join in on that chaos and craziness because that's just going to be fun. So let's get a job going here. Deliver wood scrap. Ooh. Could do that. Wood scrap seems fun. Yeah. It's just one of those things. And I'm keeping trying and keeping my spirits up. So we're going to see what happens here. We're going to see what happens here. So we're going to deliver some wood scrap here. Where's our wood scrap going? Food factory down to the sawmill. So we're going down to the bottom corner again. So I guess I just need to run around. Because that looks like wood scrap to me. I don't know about you. Where is our wood scrap? Let's see here. C2O. And survey says that's C2O. Yes. That is true, Southern 207 Hobbies, and that's the thing. I've been doing things that, don't get me wrong, I've been applying for jobs. But I've also been kind of taking the mentality of I also need to do things that get me out of the house and not just doom scrolling Indeed. So, gotta deal with that in some way. And I have it, which I feel is good. Now the fun part is 2 DE2 is going to be enough? Oh, darn. This doesn't connect into... Oh, darn. Okay. It is. Indeed, it is a pain. But it, you know, when it's the primary job market hosting website, you make do with what you got. You make do with what you got. And I'm just trying to keep on keeping on, you know. Gotta keep the spirits up. Can't let it dwell. Can't let it, you know, hang around or not. And that's why we sometimes just play some fun video games like we do here in Derail Valley. Alright, let's back it on up. We do have a through track to get around. Run around and get these cars. That is the game plan. And that is the plan that we are gaming out. Okay. Still has a funny horn. I did notice that we did have the DM3 the DM3 over there. Which I don't have a license for, so I can't rescue it. And I don't like it. It is too funky for me. It is way too funky for me. Also, this train's going to be 600 tons. So I have a feeling we might need more of those DE2s sitting over there, potentially. But I don't know. That one. Okay. Good there. Good there. Row that one. Okay. Switch cabs. I will say, last time we streamed Derail Valley, we went from, I believe, the sawmill to the food factory. Now we're going food factory to the sawmill. Popular route. Popular route. Okay, glad no one was injured in that Southern 207. That is very, very good information to know. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry it was a nasty wreck. I'm glad everyone involved is okay. Okay, switch cabs. Look at our air gauge. That's a wake-up call. Yeah, it is. It is. All right. Let's get this on the move. Moving the direction I want to move. So here we go. All right. Oh, thank you, Southern 207. Yep, we were trying really hard there. I'm very fortunate to do the work that I do with them. And I'm glad people are enjoying those videos, because I hate to say it, a lot of my video editing time actually goes to the friends now, rather than my own channel, which bound to happen at some point. I don't mind it. It's fun. It's fun work. Keeps the skills up, so I don't mind it. But I'm glad people are enjoying. And hello, Mimo. And ZVK Studios is here. Welcome, ZVK. Yep, we're in Derail Valley. I'm currently trying not to derail in the valley, but you know, who knows? It's this game. I'm also just trying to make it up this hill with 600 tons. Email Mike, I wouldn't be that strong with that, but it is a shame that that railroad is in the situation that it is in. I hope they can come out of it better and stronger, and with a stronger outlook. Lack of communication usually is the bane of most organizations, and hopefully they can fix that and move forward and keep things running smoothly. I'm sure the board of directors has their reasons for doing things the way they're doing. But also I hope for the volunteers of that organization that they get the answers they need in a manner in which they feel satisfied. And that's all I'm going to say about it. You know, I know we have a ton of tourist railroads in this, not just in the state of Pennsylvania, but just in that area, and losing one may not seem like a big deal, but it can be. It can be a very big deal. I'm waiting for Celestial to pop in chat and be like, "Oh, you couldn't make it with that much power?" Also, you may notice that the music is not just the RO soundtrack; it's the RO soundtrack with some other songs mixed in. I got some new songs courtesy of a friend of the channel, Caboose, from the YouTube streaming library. So we're gonna have more varied music throughout these streams, which is, I think, going to be a fun time, and hope that that'll all be enjoyable for you, and that you all enjoy, the new stuff. It's okay, JSJ. It's about trains. That's about all you need to know. It's about trains. And yeah, what happened with the old Dominion NRHS when the CEO of Buckingham Ranch died and the new CEO kicked them out over. Yeah. Sometimes things change. And you just gotta roll with the punches sometimes. You know? And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Flexibility as an organization is important. Were you able to get more power? Let's see. We are. But I don't want to stay here too long. Let the traction motors cool back down. Mimo Mike, they've been doing that most of last year. I wish them the best of luck. I have my own personal concerns, but they're my own personal concerns. And, you know, hopefully that works out for them. And Midland hath returned. I never went away. I just had things going on, like, put it this way, a lot of my editing time, specifically from about Saturday to about Wednesday, was taken up with stuff that was not my own stuff. It was taken up with friend stuff. So, it gets busy. Midland's life gets sporadically busy. And it's wonderful and keeps Midland sane. We're going to need more DE2s, aren't we? I think we're going to need more DE2s. What kind of grade are we on? I was told 2 DE2s could handle 600 tons. How far out are we? Oh, we're that far out too? We're that close to the corner? Oh, jeez. That's mildly annoying. Oh god, I'm falling through everything. I'm falling through the map. I'm falling through the map. Oh god. I was trapped. I was trapped. Alright. We're firing up. One more D2. Double the hill. No. We're using the tried and true solution here. Oh, there's a kitty. Run, kitty. They're working with the military railroad. Okay, that's a good organization. So hopefully they can work something out there for that historical society. And you're happy to see the South Taylor Station rebuilding started. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And progressing quickly. Abandon 50% more power. Chicken? I'm not chicken. The problem is there's no effective way to double the hill. That's the issue here. Okay? There's no chicken about it. It's just there's no effective way to double the hill at all. And in reality, I only really need to get it to I only need to get it to the turn. To the Y. Oh god. Meanwhile, Mike asking the real questions. Like actual stations? On the original line? I mean, the main ones would be Mount Union, Shirleysburg, Orbisonia, Pogue, Three Springs, Saltillo, and then some smaller ones heading up like Kimmel, and then you get to Robertsdale, Woodville, and Alvin. Those are like that's kind of the big ones. There's some flag stops too. Shoot, I'm blanking on the whole list. There's a few. I imagine Mark brings Zumi to the EBT. It'd be neat. Mark has to build Zumi first. You know, that's the key part here is Mark has to actually build Zumi. So, you know, there's that. Taking this kind of easy because I don't know where the end of that other train is. Okay, it's not there. Yeah, plus FRA inspections on Zuma. And there's a lot of steps. Would it be cool to see it happen? Absolutely. There's many steps in between there. And you think 3 or 4? No, it's going to be like 1. Zumi would be 1 coach. Maybe a coach and a caboose, at most. Weight. The answer is weight and a distinct lack of tractive effort. And no. That's not, unfortunately, that is not how that works, Southern 207 Hobbies, at all. Don't get me wrong, rollers help, but there comes a point where the heaviness of the car outweighs the benefit of the rollers. Not in the sense that the rollers don't reduce friction, but in the sense of the car is just plain heavy. Okay, we found the end. Okay. Okay. Run up here. Run up here. In the cab. Okay. Run back here. More power. More power and sand. Southern, it's about the same, quite frankly. You know, it's one of those things where at some point the amount of weight saving you get from not having some seats is outweighed by other equipment in the car and just the car in general. Quickly. Come on. Something's gonna overheat here. I can feel it. We just need to get a little bit more. Southern, that's the same engine. The PRR 9000, whatever it is the same engine as the Mimo Mike. He's just mixing the Waynesburg and Washington number with the Pennsy number. You're both talking about the same engine. We're getting somewhere. This is hard work. It's probably not great that I'm running those engines in reverse, but oh well. Yeah, I mean, never, you know, in rail preservation, never say never, because always with enough money, anything's possible. But I will always stress, be realistic in in hopes and expectations. I think we're good to cut this one off now. button. There it is. Okay. Turn the sand off, you dingus. Okay. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, turn that off. Turn that off. Yeah, entirely true, Southern 207. But it's also a case of, like, you know, they had a plan, they executed it, and that plan has worked to perfection. Now that engine is now in its 6th year of operation. I'm still skeptical personally about the T1 Trust. Do I want it to happen? Yes, absolutely I do. And they have many components, but there's also still time for that project to go sideways. I don't want it to. You know, it's one of those, like, when it happens, it's going to be awesome. But also, there's still time. Unfortunately, there's still kind of time for that to go a little sideways. As with any rail preservation project. You know, with any preservation project, things can go sideways, whether we want them to or not. Hopefully we don't want them to. We never want things going sideways, but it's a case of, you know, we need to be realistic. We need to support what we want to support, but when we support it, we need to go in with the idea that, hey, this could turn sideways. This could not happen. Unfortunately. And, you know, maybe the T1 Trust is in a position where either A, they pull it off, or B, if they don't, they're in a position where another organization can come in and fill things out. You know, finish it off, and things like that. But, you know, obviously plan A all the way, hope they succeed. And that's true of any nonprofit organization. It just is, you know. It's one of those things where there's always a chance that it just doesn't work out. Whether it's down to timing, whether it's down to funding, whether it's down to publicity. There's always a chance that it just doesn't work out, you know. And sometimes that's nobody's fault. I totally just left that DE2 right there, didn't I? I did. I'm just going to leave DE2 scattered around the map. I know they're exploring that. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet. Email Mike. I know they're exploring all their options, which is a good thing for that organization. I wish the Railroads Memorial Museum all the luck in the world. I would love to see that engine run now that, you know, it's vaguely, you know, I'm not going to tell you guys where I live, but, you know, it's vaguely local. More local than some other Pennsylvania tourist attractions. But it's one of those things, like, there's a chance that just, you know, the funding dries up and it stalls out again. And that, again, that's true of any project. That's true of any project anywhere. And a good organization will have that, will have a contingency for that. But again, sometimes it's nobody's fault. And that might be me being a Debbie Downer, and I'm sorry if it is. But again, you gotta be realistic and have certain expectations going in. If you go in with the expectation of like, oh, this is going to happen in 2 years, or this is going to happen by the end of the year, yeah, no. Good luck. But if you go in with like, hey, I want this to happen, I want to support this happening, and that's your mindset, then hey, support it. I know they're exploring options, meanwhile, Mike. I don't know where those options include. I know they're exploring options. Okay, let's get back up to speed here. That's fine. I just realized what time it was, so I may need to end stream here soon, folks. Potentially. The reason is Southern 207 is they run on a Class 2 shoreline, not a Class 1. And that Class 2 doesn't need PTC. That's how. Not every railroad needs PTC. And if somebody's told you that every railroad needs PTC, they are wrong. There are railroads that, meet certain criteria that they don't need it. That's why the Reading and Northern doesn't need it. The Steamtown, they run on Delaware and Lackawanna trackage. The DNL is a Class 2 shoreline that doesn't need PTC. They don't meet the requirements to have it necessary. The New Hope and Ivyland, they run on 16 miles of track or 19 miles of track that connects with SEPTA, but they don't run on SEPTA and haven't for a while. That's how their engines don't need PTC. Now, I know the Pennsylvania Northeastern, their freight op, some of them need PTC because they're going on SEPTA, but that's a totally different thing. Oh, shit. I don't think we're on the track anymore. You guys got me monologuing. You guys got me monologuing. I blame chat. I blame chat. I like Bandit's answer. It's not supposed to look like that, but definitely suffered a significant decrease in rail-to-wheel interface. Yes. Well then. 1, 2, 3. Looks like 4 cars stayed on the rails. Yeah, it's looking like 4 cars stayed on the rails. Wait, how did this car jackknife this way? I guess that's the only reason this even vaguely stayed on. Is because that jackknifed that way. Bandan? The answer is more than likely no. Well, not that it matters, but let's get in the cab here, and you know, we're gonna turn everything off. We're just gonna turn everything off. It's fine. Hmm. Yeah. This is definitely a significant lack of rail to wheel interface. Somehow this completely upside down. The cargo's still at 84% though. Let's see here. Vehicle 0. Oh boy. This is embedded in the tree is what this is. No wonder it's at 0%. It's embedded in the tree. This is also embedded in the tree. Thanks, Bandit. I got some stuff added to the library. The RO stuff is still in there, but I also added in some music I got from friend of the channel, the Caboose Man, known for cooking with Caboose and epic rail adventures. So please go subscribe to him because he's helped out the channel a lot with getting me some new music, as well as helped out the friends a lot with getting me some new music. So, chat. We're coming up on the time where I was actually planning on ending stream. So I think we're going to make this a future Midland problem. And by a future Midland problem, Midland's not going to play this game for a week. And then we're all going to forget about this. And hilarity will ensue. So this is going to be a future Midland problem. I'm going to be hopping over to join another friend of the channel on the return of some shenanigans and tomfoolery. I do apologize for the stream being shorter, but maybe that'll make the VOD a little bit more digestible instead of longer. But you can expect the return of this at some point, where we try and, for some reason, deal with this. Or we may just delete it. Who knows? But until then, folks, take care. Have an awesome one. Stay awesome. Thank you for your support. And I will see you all very soon, hopefully, in another location. Take care, everybody. Bye!